Oh my gosh. Okay, that was the hardest damn life. I was like, I really want to just get this going so I can get the fuck out, you know? Um, so I'm doing makeup because I'm an alcoholic and I'm going out to go get some drinks. Um, I just realized I should be maybe pre-partying before as I do my makeup rather. So let me just actually I can take you guys with me. Let's go on a little adventure. Let's go on a field trip, so to speak. So yeah, I really had a hard time my it was really sort of aggravating there for a second. I just sort of feel like you know, things should just work out the way I would like them to, as opposed to, not. Oh my god, I'm naked. Please don't look at me. Oh my god, stop. Oh, stop it. Make a quick little drink. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys about my adventure at a polyamorous convention, because when I was in Arizona, I randomly ran into this polyamory convention, and it was honestly one of the coolest experiences of my life. First of all, can you guys hear me very well? Tell me if you guys can hear me. You guys can hear and see me okay? Now, what we're not going to do is judge Catherine for being an alcoholic. We're going to just let her do her. She can do bad all by herself. And she doesn't need the judgment, oh fuck, of you or anyone, patriarchy and blah blah, whatever excuse I can come up with. You guys can hear me okay? All right, perfect. All right, so before I go on this little story, I just wanted to sort of tell you quickly, let's see how quickly I could actually do it, about a really annoying, actually not annoying conversation. It was an okay conversation. Oop, I almost spilled my drink that I just made because of this webcam. Oh fuck, okay, I have to go wet my fucking sponge. Sorry. Okay, so yesterday, I told, well, actually, no, let me not say what I was going to say. Let me finish one thought at a time. So, I've had this conversation with this guy just now on Tinder. I didn't do much today, but swipe on people on Tinder. I really should have done more shit. I really need to get back in the swing of work, but honestly, guys, I've been so tired with traveling and shit that I've just been like enjoying my fucking life. I've really just been living my best goddamn life and not really giving too much of a fuck about work, which I can afford to do, And so, anyway, I was having this conversation with this guy, so this guy matched with me, black guy, so handsome. Oh my god, he was just so fucking fine. Definitely one of the best looking men I've ever seen. And he messages me and he's like, look, I'm perfect. I'm polyamorous. I'm dom. I'm totally what you're looking for. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're just too good to fucking be true. But, because I had that situation with that guy earlier where, he was like super down. I mean, so for context, I was supposed to go out on a date today. And because I was supposed to go out on a date today and the guy canceled on me, I've kind of been in like a really sort of annoying, shitty, sad space. And so it's taken a lot for me today to like get up and do something, And so I've been pretty, I don't know, just like sad and shitty today. So I guess I spent too much time on fucking Tinder talking to people. But anyway, so I was talking to him, and because of my previous experience with this guy canceling on me because, you know, his girlfriend is going through an emotional this and this and that, I thought that it would be a really good idea for me to, a little weird I look. People are like, what the fuck are you doing right now? It's makeup. I thought it would be a really good idea. Oh fuck, of course when I look for it, it's gonna fall all out. I thought it'd be a really good idea to start asking men who say that they're polyamorous what that means to them, and to really go down the line of like, how available are you? Because a lot of men, they're like, oh, I'm available, I'm available, I'm available. But they're not really. They're not really available. They don't really have time, you know? And that's what happened with this guy today. And I was just like, well, let me start asking men who say they're polyamorous, how much of a, what is your, like, how much are you really truly looking, I mean, open and available for any sort of additional, in quotations, relationship? Because a lot of polyamorous guys who hang out on fucking Tinder and shit, they've got their quote unquote main sitting at home, you know, their main is sitting at home, and they're on there looking for something else, you know, which is fine. Something else on, you know. Polyamorous men that I meet in at these polyamorous events are so different from the polyamorous men that I meet on fucking Tinder. On Tinder, I'm gonna meet these guys who say they're polyamorous when really they mean they like to date. They date a lot and they don't date one person at a time, which is fine. That's whatever. But that's not really polyamory, you know. And so I don't know. It's a little aggravating. So I asked this guy, I was like straight up. So I was like, so, you know, how available are you for, you know, anything like a significant or substantial relationship? Because I'm really not looking for someone who just wants to fuck, you know, I'm really not. So what is your availability essentially? Right. And so he told me that, you know, there's this girl who he, you know, went on a couple dates with, who he really likes, that, you know, went to another country. And, you know, when she comes back, you know, he's going to want to start dating her. And so I was like, so are you going to start, so if she comes back, are you going to start seeing her exclusively, you know? Because the problem I've had with a lot of these Tinder poly dudes is that they say they're poly, but when they meet the right girl, they're suddenly not, which to me is not polyamorous. You know, these are men. I guess it's because I've always looked at dating very differently. I think that when a lot of guys are saying that they're polyamorous, what they really mean is they're not just going to sleep with one person at a time. You know, I think a lot of men think that polyamory is just that, like, we're just gonna fuck a bunch of people. So like when I tell men that I'm poly, they really like what this guy asked me was like, oh, so how many sexual partners do you have? How many boyfriends do you have? I said, I'm seeing 2 people. I'm only sleeping with one. And he was just like, oh, okay, does he satisfy you? And I said, yeah, it's the best sex ever. And he was like confused as to why I wanted to keep seeing other people. And I was like, I don't get that. I thought you said you were poly, you know? And I don't know, like, I don't want to be like a poly gatekeeper and like tell people who they are and what they aren't. But like, personally, I'm very tired of dating men who say they're polyamorous when they're truly and honestly not. That's really fucking aggravating. So anyway, we had a little conversation, and I basically told him, like, look, I don't want to be the girl you fuck until your girlfriend comes home. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to be the person who you're fucking until the woman of your dreams comes home. Like, that doesn't feel right. And for me, that's always been the issue with men who think like that, where really what they're saying to me is like, oh, I'll fuck you, but I don't really know if I could ever see you as a serious person to date. And that's not flattering to me, you know? Like, my big thing, like, I know I could have as much fucking sex as I wanted. I mean, the amount of dick that gets slung at me, bitch, I have as much sex as I want to have. But I'm only sleeping with one person right now, not because I'm monogamous or anything like that, because that's the one person. Well, that's not true. I'm sleeping with two people. That's not true. But I'm seeing one person who is poly, one person who is decidedly monogamous. But we're not like, I don't know if I would say that we're dating. I don't know. We'll talk about that in another video. That's a person where like I know that relationship is not going to pan out, you know? I can barely call it a relationship, right? But anyway, so I'm not looking to be, you know, that person who you fuck when you know, before your girlfriend comes home. That's not the ideal for me. Girl, I'm really not getting off topic here. So I'm trying to make it fast so I can get the fuck out of here. So yeah, I think that actually, as I was doing this broadcast, I saw like little notifications that said that he probably responded already to those to my messages that I sent him. And I don't know. He's like really nice. Like I can tell that he's a nice guy, and I really appreciate him being honest with me and saying, you know, there's a girl that I really like who's gonna come back. Because my problem that I've had with a lot of guys is they're not honest about that. Like if there's some woman in your purview who you really want to see, who you really want to be exclusive with, and you're already going in that direction, please go in that direction. Don't invite me as a poly person to date you while you're saying that you're poly, which really means you just fuck around. Just don't fuck with me. Don't fuck up my thing, right? Do your thing. Don't fuck up my thing. When I say I'm polyamorous, I'm not saying I'm fucking everyone until I find Mr. Right. That's not at all what I'm saying. So anyway, that was my mini poly rant before we get into this actual video. So I went to a poly convention. Speaking of Tinder, that was nasty. When I travel, I really like to meet men on Tinder who know the area and are willing to show me around and are just happy to do that, right? That is kind of like what I like to do is I like to meet men who are happy to just show me around and, you know, show me where stuff is and just give me a good experience, right? And so as I was on Tinder, this guy matched with me. And he was like, while I was in Arizona, I did an event at Arizona State University. And while I was on Tinder, I matched with this guy, and he was like, "Are you here for Southwest Love Fest?" And I was like, "What the fuck is that? Like, what the hell is Southwest Love Fest?" And so I looked it up, and I was like, "Wow, it's a polyamory convention. This seems really, really fucking cool. Let me see if it's a possibility for me to go." Now, I did a thing that I was really nervous about doing, and I don't usually do. I guess it worked out, but I'm really not like this. I sent the organizers a message, and I was like, "Hey, I'm in town doing an event over at Arizona State University. I'm a polyamorous YouTuber, and I was really wondering about this one event because when I looked at the calendar, there was like one party. There was like a Friday night party that they're having. Oh, look at that! I already fucked up. There's a Friday night party in downtown Tucson. And I wanted to see if I could crash it because I didn't know. Because a lot of times at conventions, when they have these parties, it's all very like exclusive and like you can't get in unless you have the right badge and shit. And I was like, so hey, can I like get the hookup low key? Is basically what I was saying. And so, sorry, I'm just such a fucking mess. And so I was like, all right, cool. Let's see what they say. And so the organizers got back to me and they were like, oh my God, we are huge fans of yours. We would really love for you to come down. And long story short, we worked it out to where I was going to be attending this poly convention. Now I only contacted them to go to like a Friday night party the night before I was actually leaving to go back to California. But they were like, hey, we'd really love for you to come. We'd love for you to come and do a panel or something. And I was like, maybe this is a little bit of conflict of interesty kind of thing with my agency. And I talked to my agent today and he said it was okay. But I was really nervous about like, what me speaking at a polyamory convention, not a polyamory convention, but like me speaking. Because the way my agency works, it's like they basically control. They don't control my image, but they have like basically exclusive like speaking. Oh, here's my spilly. They control my speaking, right? So when I do these events, oftentimes I have to kind of forward them to them. You know what I mean? I don't usually just sort of go out on my own and do the thing. I often have to sort of show it to them, right? So I wasn't really ready to commit to doing a full thing, but they said I could like host a panel, moderate a panel rather. And I agreed to do that because that's really relatively low energy. Like it requires very little of me, right? And so anyway, I said yes, and I got into the convention, and I was super, super happy. And then I still wanted to go to the little party that was happening. And the organizers actually told me that actually we're going to probably cancel that party and like do something else. And so, that party didn't happen. But what did happen was a pool party at the hotel, right? And so I had a great idea that I was going to do my event. I was going to come home from my event. It's always a really heavy conversation for me. Talking about rape and sexual assault is like really hard for me to do. It's like, it's truly one of those conversations that can really fuck me up. And so I was like, I kind of really want to like decompress from this, right? And so when they were having a pool party, I was like super excited at the idea of just like going to a pool party, meeting really cool poly people, and just having a good old fucking time, right? And so I popped my ass over to Walmart because I didn't have any swimming clothes. And I bought myself like the ugliest like swim sort of suit. So I had like this like, it was like this white top with like little chevron designs and like this black sort of skirted bikini type situation. It was pretty sexy, but it just didn't go together. But I was like, fuck it, I'm going to this event. I went to the hotel, changed in the bathroom, and then went out to the pool. And there were all these really cool, fun, cute poly people. And I was like really excited. But low key, I was kind of looking to meet the guy that I connected with on Tinder because he was really cute and I wanted to sort of socialize with him and sort of see what was going on there. And clearly he had read my profile and he was totally okay with it or whatever. And so I was like, cool, like maybe I can run into him and we can have a good old fucking time. But that didn't turn out to be the case, right? And so basically I got there and no one was in the pool. Nobody was in the pool. No one was in the pool. And I was pretty disappointed because Tucson it's really warm right now. And I just assumed that when I went to the pool, people would be in the pool. You know what I mean? I just thought that would be what would happen. It's a pool party. People would be in the pool, right? And so I was pretty disappointed because I had gone out and I had gotten, this little swimsuit situation, but no one was in the fucking pool, right? And so I was like, okay, that fucking sucks. That really, really fucking sucks. Let's still be social. So I got myself a little Angry Orchard. I saw people being social and I started walking around and socializing, right? And then I saw that there were actually a bunch of people in the jacuzzi. Now I was like, fuck, the jacuzzi. I could really do a jacuzzi right now. So I got into the jacuzzi because I was feeling my alcohol a little bit. I was feeling my fantasy just a little bit. And I was ready to get into the fucking jacuzzi, right? Now in the jacuzzi, there was this older couple. There's this German guy, this older woman, and then like this other guy, this other older guy. There are these two like lesbian couple over here. And then there was like a couple here and a couple here. It was a very packed jacuzzi type situation, right? And so I get in, I'm feeling real sexy and cool or whatever, real sociable. And we just start having conversations about, why are you here? And, what's poly mean to you? And da-da-da-da-da. And like, it was just really good, just like common in like family talk. Bitch. It's a pool at a poly convention. You just get a bunch of poly people, a little drunk, in a pool at midnight, and girl, shit gets weird so fast, right? And so I was meeting a bunch of the couples and stuff and socializing with them. There was one couple that was heavy into BDSM. And so we were having conversations about, what the BDSM scene in LA is like and what the BDSM scene in Tucson and Phoenix is like. And it was just interesting. I always love to sort of talk to other people about, their little BDSM scenes where they are, because, stuff can be so different. Like in LA, we're fucking spoiled. Like tomorrow I'm going on a date and there is this event that's happening in a club that has like a BDSM floor. And I may or may not take my date there. And that's like shit that happens like every weekend, like this is just like common shit for us, right? And I've noticed after traveling and like trying to, do shit when I travel, that like, girl, the BDSM community in other states is almost non-fucking existent. So I'm really thankful that we have what we have in California, because it really sucks elsewhere, right? And so anyway, it was good conversation with them. And then there was like this couple, we're going to call them Alex and Jamie, right? Alex and Jamie were clearly like very new to polyamory. They were a couple that had been together for a really long time and they really love each other. But this was new to them and they were open to stuff, but they, it was new to them. It was new to them, right? Now, I will say, I may or may not have thought that Alex was pretty cute. I may have thought that Alex was kind of cute. Alex had like a little broken foot or whatever. And I like very kind of deliberately sat near him. Very deliberately sat near him. And so we had a thing going on, sort of. And then, remember I told you about the older couple. Now there was a German guy and there was the older woman. We're going to call the German guy Franz. No, what's a good name? Yeah, Franz. I'm trying to not say his actual name, because his actual name is very predictably German. And then this older woman, we're going to call her Peggy, right? Now, Peggy was a very free spirit. Let's just say Peggy was a very free spirit. Peggy was in her 50s, but she was very fit for her age. She looked absolutely great. Peggy looked fucking amazing. Peggy, she did a lot of bike riding. I'm sure she drinks a lot of kombucha. Peggy is really that bitch. Peggy is really that bitch in her 50s. And so she was being very social and flirty. Like Peggy was the one who started being very sexual in the hot tub, right? Very sexual in the hot tub. And so at one point she's like grabbing over at the lesbian couple and trying to like kind of make out with them. And then at one point, she's like really doing this full on like sort of sex scene with her boyfriend. And then the German guy, they're kind of doing their little thing. And, I'm very much like the sort of person where I'm like, this is like, I love seeing people in love, so I'm not like offended by it as long as it stays fuck over there. Now, a lot of you guys know, if you've heard me bitch and moan about going out at any point in life, that one of the things I'm constantly running into is unicorn hunting. I get so many fucking people unicorn hunting me because I am usually, the only like single, tall black girl in a room. And some of these unicorn hunters, bitch, all they want is like a strong, tall black bitch to fucking dom the fuck out of both of them. And y'all should know by now that's really not my fucking thing. Anyway, so Peggy started being very touchy-feely with me. And that made me really fucking uncomfortable. Peggy came up behind me and started very gently touching my hair. And by gently touching my hair, I mean she was kind of grabbing on it. Now listen, if you're a Black girl, I know you're gonna feel me on this. These braids are I did these braids the night before New Year's. So these braids are 3 months old. Fuck, they're almost 4 months old. I was in a hot tub. All right. So there's all kinds of moisture and warmth coming up into my shit. And so she just starts touching my shit. Now, when I'm in the fucking hot tub, bitch, that hurts. Okay. And so Peggy was very much so touching my hair and not really giving a fuck about me saying no. Peggy did that thing that a lot of white women do, where she started touching my shit. And when I said to her, well, I really don't want you to fucking do that, she got very much like, oh, well, you know, your hair is just so beautiful. And I just really want to like touch it. And like, you know, I'm just sort of feeling on it for you kind of thing. And I was like, I don't want you to touch my hair. I don't want you to touch my fucking hair. I don't want you to touch my hair. And I had to tell her several times. I was like, I really don't want you to touch my hair. You know, I was like, Peggy, calm the fuck down. Peggy. And I always have this like this what's the word I'm looking for? I'm always conflicted whenever I'm in situations like this, because I'm really happy to see someone that's being so open and free, and just that's great to me. That is so amazing. And just, you know, great, but bitch, back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. And so, of course, they're doing the typical thing of like, you're so beautiful, you're so pretty, oh my God, you're so hot. And I'm like, okay, well, just let's not. And so I kind of had to consistently have and I hate doing this. I always feel like a fucking homophobe when I do this. I always have to have very loud conversations about how straight I am, so that women like Peggy will leave me the fuck alone, because some women are just so fucking aggressive. She kept doing the whole thing. So like, me touching you is like not weird because I'm a girl, right? Like I'm a girl, right? And like, we're just girls, right? And I'm just like, you're touching me. I don't want you to fucking touch me. Now, Peggy's boyfriend, Frank, also had the same issue. Now, there was another Black woman in the hot tub with me. I'm going to call her Danielle. Me and Danielle ended up being like besties for most of the fucking year. We went lingerie shopping. We had a really good time with each other. Like, we really became pretty close. Like, I went to her fucking apartment and shit. Like, we became really fucking close. But she had left. And so now I was a token Black girl in the hot tub, right? And so, but this other Black girl comes, and she's just like very, this Black girl, she's bald. She's very like beautiful and just Amazonian looking and just like gorgeous, right? And she gets in, and Frank, so Frank was very touchy. Frank was very touchy. And now maybe because I have these weird things with my boundaries where I'm less bothered by touch, I'm a little bit more patient, I guess you could say, with it. But the sister who just got into the pool, she was really not about that life. She really was not about that life. And so she kept kind of like pushing Frank away. And so, you know, she had to consistently say, stop, 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 stop. And then she had mentioned that her parents came from Trinidad. And I forget exactly what they were saying, because it was not just her. It was Peggy and it was Frank. And at the time, I had gotten out and I got my little Angry Orchard, because of course I was having a conversation with Alex or whatever. And I was kind of watching this from outside the pool. And so they just made her really fucking uncomfortable, and she got up and left. Right now, let me do my eyeliner before I get too fucking carried away. Let me do my eyeliner. Because I've done my makeup pretty fast in this video. Bitch, we're going to a bar and maybe a dance club. We don't need to have our makeup that on point. And so, okay, that's when I And so she left, right? She left. She kind of like had it. She was there for a quick little minute. Me and her were kind of friendly, but I could tell she was just kind of like uncomfortable in general. Like I could tell she was like inherently a pretty shy person. And honestly, throughout the entire convention, I saw her kind of walking around alone. So, that's her thing. I'm not going to try to say anything negative about it. She definitely did not deserve to be sort of cornered in that situation, right? And so, anyway, oh my god, I'm doing. Oh my god, you ever get really nervous when you do your eyeliner? It's just like I could, if I fuck this up, I just wasted all my fucking time, all of it. And so they left right now. Now, when I was outside of the pool, I was talking to Alex and Jamie, and Alex and Jamie had been talking about how they had they made a joke about how they made a new one of their friends was at the convention, just staying there at the hotel, and had just wandered into the pool. So there was this other guy. I'm gonna use his real fucking name because who gives a fuck about this dude? His name was Jay, right? And now the way that like. Actually, no, I take that back. Jay was saying that these were his friends, that Alex and Jamie were his friends. Turns out they were just staying at the hotel, and this was a guy that was there with his wife and kids who just saw that there was a polyamory convention and was like, fuck, let's go. I'm going to go into the hot tub, right? What the fuck? How did I do that so perfectly just now? How did I just do a perfect wing line just now? I'm going to jinx it though and fuck the other one up, but like, how did I do that? That's not possible. It's unspoken of. How did you do it? Well, Deb, I just used my hands. And so Jay was very peculiar. Jay was very, very strange. Um, because Jay clearly, I don't know. So this is gonna sound really fucked up, but let's just say this is gonna sound so fucked up. Let's just say that like everyone at the convention for them, I mean, yeah, pretty much everyone, honestly, was pretty. I mean, if you get enough poly people in the same room, there's like a look you start to see. There's like a cohesive sort of thing that goes on. Like there's all these things I feel like different poly people all they do. And I think if you're poly, you probably understand what I'm saying. Like there's like a vibe that all these that poly people just kind of have. And this guy clearly did not have that vibe, you know? How the fuck did I do that? How did I fucking do that? He clearly did not have that vibe, right? So that's a very polite way of thing off. That's a polite way of saying what I really want to say. Okay, let me do this other wing before we get too carried away. And so Jay was just a fucking mess. Jay was so drunk, right? And so we all knew, we were all hyper aware of the fact that Jay was there in the jacuzzi without his wife. And we actually saw before this, we actually saw Jay's wife and kids walking around the pool around all of these like kinky fucking people. And people were like, In fact, I think they actually had pool stuff and they decided not to go in the pool because all these people were, that's so terrible. And so we saw the wife. We know the wife. The wife is gorgeous, and so she's just up there in the room dealing with the kids, and you're down here drunk at a fucking pool. But that's not our life. It's not our life. It's not really our place to talk about that. Okay, well, we tried. We were real close to getting two perfect wings, but just, we can't do everything. Yeah. But anyway, so we were all like the entire time we kept being like, so Jay, when are you gonna go get your wife? When are you gonna get your wife? Because I'm sure that she would have loved and enjoyed to be, in a fucking jacuzzi after taking care of your kids all day. Like, I don't know. Because a lot of these people, a lot of the people there, they have kids. Like Alex and Jamie, they're telling me that their kids were staying with a family, a family friend and stuff. Like, and so I think people were kind of like, so your kids are here, but you're just fucking around. Like, what's going on? But anyway, so the night went on, right? Jay gets drunker and drunker and gets into the hot tub, and Peggy, and very much a free fucking spirit. Peggy was a free spirit. Now, before I talk about Peggy's free spirit, let me go refresh my drink. Be right back. So the whole night, we're just kind of making this joke all night long about how you need to go get your wife. Where's your wife? Maybe you should go get your wife. We're just making that joke all night long. And he keeps going back to the room and coming back with a refreshed drink, right? And so we're like, not that we're judging, but it was just like, you're not Polly. Like, why are you here? I would feel really bad if I went to a fucking hotel room on vacation and my husband was like, yeah, oh, fuck it. Of course, like when you're not in the community, you think that poly people are just like swingers, which some of us are. I'm not, but some of us are. But most people here aren't. And so, we kept making that joke. And so anyway, I was talking about Peggy. So I turn around, like I'm having a conversation with Alex and Jamie and Frank, and I turn away just a little bit, and I turn around, and Jay has his hands like all over Peggy's like nether regions area. Like he is like just a few steps away from fully fingering her. And so like that's not my marriage. That's not my relationship. But holy fucking shit, your husband's down there trying to finger this very attractive 55-year-old woman. I feel like that might be something that would upset me. Now, we later talked about this with people. We later talked to him about like why he was really down there. And Jay kind of revealed that, his wife works a corporate job and she's pretty attractive, right? And she works around all of these like young, good-looking guys, right? And so he's kind of afraid that one day she's going to cheat on him, right? And the thing that he kind of revealed is that the idea of his wife cheating on him terrifies him, but also really, really turns him on. And so a lot of us were like, okay, so that's why you're here. I mean, of course, obviously not a, you know, Good for you. And so we kind of all have a laugh. Now, I forgot to mention, Jay was from Canada, and Jay just had this fucking attitude where he was very much like, Americans are all trash. They're all racist. That's why no one likes you. And so he would occasionally throughout the night kind of bring this up. But most of us were just kind of like dismissing it and like laughing at it because, you know, he was drunk and silly, right? And so the night goes on. Me and Frank actually started sort of talking and flirting. And like, it wasn't really me flirting with him. I just like to talk to people. And I think weirdos are very fascinating. And Frank was kind of a weirdo. He's actually a pretty good looking guy. And I had a whole conversation with Peggy about him. And apparently, like, they were the main partnership. And like, what happened is she wasn't initially poly, but he very much was. And he started dating this other woman. She got very insecure about that, because he's such a good lover and he's so intellectual. And, you know, but it was really interesting to talk to people and like hear them talk about those experiences, like those times where they were sort of insecure in their relationship. Because one of my big things with talking to poly people is, you know, like, not that I haven't met a lot of older poly people, but like when I was trying to like be in the swinger community, you would talk to these people and ask like how long they'd been together. And the vast majority of people who are in the swinger community have not been together for very long. Most of them aren't even together. They're just together for the party they're going to. Right. And so, you know, of course, you know, for me, a lot of my questions and trying to figure this shit out is like, so are you going to be able to grow up into an older person and be in like a loving polyamorous relationship? Because it's easy, especially in LA, to feel like a lot of this is just shit you do when you're young, shit you do. The body and the freedom and all this shit. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. It's hard to sometimes see poly as a long-term thing. I mean, obviously I do, but it can be hard sometimes to sort of believe that, you know, that can be a long-term thing. So it was kind of affirming to sort of talk to an older couple who had clearly gone through all of those little, you know, growing pains. So anyway, everyone ends up leaving. Jamie and Alex leave. Jamie and Alex are really cool. I ended up hanging out with them for a long time. I'll maybe make other videos about this convention because I'm realizing I'm not going to have time to talk. But Jamie and Alex and I just got off the phone before I came on here. I just got off the phone with Jamie and Alex, and they were really, really cool. There's a lot of fun things that happened with them. And so anyway, towards the end of the night, it's basically like Peggy's like, it's me, Peggy, Frank, and Jay. Everyone else had left, right? And we're all sitting around the jacuzzi having conversations about stuff. Now, everyone kind of gets out of the jacuzzi at a certain point, and we all just kind of sit down at like the little tables near the jacuzzi. And so Jay comes up to, and I start hugging him because I know I start offering to give him a hug, but because I know he was kind of flirting with me, I'm a brat, so I kind of like, you know, do like the weird like ha 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 thing where I'm like, you know, hug me, I don't want you fucking hug me, this kind of thing. I don't know, we've been annoying, but I'm a brat. And so he just kind of really had a really bad reaction to that, and he was drunk. Like he kept going back up to his room and getting rum and stuff. It was a lot. And so that like set him off. He started talking very loudly about like, this is why no one likes America. You guys are just all racist and this and this and that. Oh no, here's what happened. We started talking when me and Frank were talking at a certain point about what happened earlier with the black girl, because I was just telling him like, look, I knew exactly feeling in that moment. I was trying to explain it to him, and Frank Frank is just one of these white guys who just, he just knows he knows everything. He just knows he knows everything. So even when I was trying to explain to him like how tiring it is to be a Black woman, have to consistently be that token and be the one who explains everything, all he kept saying is like, well, you have to. Well, you have to. That's like what you have to do. And I was like, no, like think about like if in every situation you had to explain everything about German people, like that would be exhausting for you, right? And so then he went on this like whole thing about, oh yeah, you know, like Hitler, da 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 da, and all the shit that apparently he had dealt with, right? I wasn't getting through to him. He was fucking drunk, right? But he was clearly like really interested in me, right? And so he was kind of flirting with me, but Jay was kind of flirting with me, but Peggy was there, who was his girlfriend. And so it kind of ended up getting a little weird, to be honest with you, because Peggy was clearly interested in me, so was Frank, and they were both like, you should come up to our room. You should come up to our room. Now, I'm the sort of person who I will stay at a party to the very, very end of the party because that's just me. I'm always wanting to be the last person who you have to tell to get the fuck out of your house. That's just me, right? And so we're at the end of the party. And so, like I said, Jay tried to give me a hug. I kind of did the brat thing of like not quite giving him a hug, and it set him fucking off. And so we're yelling, and then Jay starts talking about, you know, Black and white. Oh no, here's what happened. So he tries to give me a hug. He was really salty about it. And then we all sit down. Then Jay starts talking about his daughter. And how he doesn't care how his daughter turns out, right? And so what he does, it's Peggy, it's Frank, and it's me. He points, you know, to me and says, you know, he says Black. I forget what he said, and we pointed to Frank. I think he probably said like gay or something, because you could read Frank as maybe he's gay or whatever. And then pointed to Peggy and said Jew. Like pointed to her and just assumed that she was Jewish and just said Jew. And Jay was very much one of these liberals. Like Jay is very much one of these liberals who, you know, they just talk too much. They just talk too much. It's almost like they're trying to convince themselves when they're talking some shit. It's like I'm sure we've all heard conversations like this where like they're talking about someone else being ignorant, but as they're talking about someone else being ignorant, you can just tell how fucking ignorant they are, right? He was very much one of these people. He was just like saying all types of stuff and say he doesn't care about who his daughter falls in love with and this and this and this and that and da 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 da. And both of us, like in that moment, we were all like laughing at the fact that he kept talking about this, because we all know that his whole thing is he wants to watch his wife get fucked. So we're all kind of laughing low key about that, right? But now he's talking about who his daughter is going to be sleeping with. And we're all just like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because he's like gone. Like Jay was so drunk at this point. He was gone. And we kept kind of trying to tell him, like, you should maybe go to bed. Maybe you should check on your wife. Maybe this isn't the best time for you to be out here. But Jay was the sort of person, he just kept fucking going. Where the fuck is that lip liner? One sec. Is it right? Oops. Where the fuck is my lip liner? Oh, whatever. I'll put a new one. And so we're all fucking cringing. And mind you, at this point, I'm sobering up. It's revealed to me that apparently, this is the wrong color. It's revealed to me that apparently Frank had done some sort of drugs, which kind of explained a lot, to be honest with you. It explained so much. He had done some sort of drug, and so he was just fucked up. But I was starting to get sober at this point. I was starting to get real fucking sober. Real fucking sober. So you know, I just imagine like all the things I was thinking while this was happening. And so let me just line my lips real quick. No. Okay, that fucked that up so bad. I'm probably just gonna go to the bar. I was gonna go to this dance thing, but I think I'm just gonna hold off for tomorrow. It's gonna be the same shit tomorrow. I go to so many like bitch, what the fuck is that? I go to so many like goth and industrial things like every day. I'm gonna go to one tomorrow probably. I don't know. I was gonna go to one tonight. What am I talking when she's silent? I don't know, because maybe I know you're here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Hey, Chloe. I'm definitely still shut in with a drinking problem, but now I'm going outside, you know. Um, Bitch, I fucking overlined my lips, and that was not on purpose. So anyway, so we're all laughing at Jay, and so Jay just fucking loses it. Jay starts yelling at everyone. He's like, "This is why people hate America. You guys are all free-spirited white women." And we're all like, we're all pretty fucking liberal here, man. And so he just gets so upset. And then he brings up the fact that I wouldn't hug him. He kept bringing up the fact that I wouldn't hug him, which was like, I was trying to hug you, dude. Like, I was trying to fucking hug you. But he was just like, oh my gosh, you don't even want to fucking hug me. And I was like, he kept trying to like argue that like me not wanting to hug him was like racist somehow. I don't know how that works. Especially since I was trying to hug him. It was just really fucking weird. All right, my face is fucking done for the most part. I don't know if like in person I don't see like a white cast on my face. But on the camera I really do. And I wonder if that's from the powder. I probably shouldn't do my hair, put my hair down right now since I'm not dressed yet, but whatever. And so he just starts fucking yelling. He is just yelling. I'm gonna get dressed, y'all. And so It's just fucking scary because we're all kind of like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you getting so emotional right now? Because he starts crying and shit. And it's just really fucking weird. And so he starts to get all upset. And then me and Peggy, we do what we both instinctually get up and like bend over and like start to hug him and like caress him and like try to make him feel okay. And he's just like not fucking having it. He's having like a full on fucking breakdown right now. Like he is genuinely having a full on fucking breakdown right now. And we're like, bitch, you're not even here. You're not even here for this event. You're not even here for this event. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like sitting over here making this big scene, crying and all this shit. Like you're just a mess. Like we were just gagging at the fact that he like his wife is up in the fucking hotel room, He's down here crying because a bunch of fucking strangers don't want to listen to his fucking rants about how much Canada is so much better than America. It was just a lot to take in. It was a lot to take in. And so we both tried to hug him and shit. He just wasn't fucking, he was not going to fucking hear it. He was not going to listen at all. And so he started leaving. And then Peggy was like, because Peggy, halfway through, after me and Peggy like bent over and started like hugging and caressing him, Peggy was like, look, I've done everything I can fucking do. I'm done. And so Peggy goes up to her room. And then Jay runs off to back to the room, back to his room. And then me and Frank are just sort of sitting there out there alone. And it was just the weirdest, most awkward thing ever. And so me and Frank are having a conversation. We are the last two people at the fucking hot tub. We are the last two people at the fucking hot tub, right? And Frank clearly has a thing for me. Frank clearly is interested in me. But I'm really not interested in Frank. Like I think Frank is an interesting person. He's not a bad looking guy. But listen, I'm really not at this poly convention to get laid. I'm really not. And he kept kind of doing the same thing of like, come up to our room. And I was like, well, Peggy's asleep. Like, I'm not going to come to your room when Peggy's sleeping, because I don't want to be disrespectful. And then he was like, well, oh, wow, sounds like you don't really understand this whole poly thing. Like, Frank was such a fucking smartass. Frank is like that white guy who we've all met, who he just knows everything. Everything he does is correct. You can never tell him he's wrong. He just knows how things are, and you don't. You're ignorant. He's just the smartest kid in school. That's who Frank was. You could never tell Frank he was wrong, ever. Sorry, I'm like changing, so I'm running in and out of here. I don't know what I'm gonna wear. I'm probably gonna, you know what? I'm gonna wear, what time is it? It's probably 11 o'clock by the time I get to the bar. Am I gonna want to go to a gothy thing tonight? You know what? Let me check where that is, actually. Let me check where that event is. Because if this, I think it is, it's possible, but I don't know if I want to. I just want to go out. I want to go out, but I don't know if I want to. Oh no, I didn't mean to go click on my page. Stop. No. Oh my God. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I think I'm just gonna wear all black, like just in case I decide to go to this thing. I hope you guys don't see me right now because I'm topless. Um, just in case, just in case. Um, but I don't know if I'm gonna actually go. Actually, the event just started. It started at 10. So like, I don't know. It's like not impossible. It's only been happening for 20 minutes. Who knows? I'm probably gonna wear this outfit twice in a row, but whatever. I'm a grown ass fucking woman. I can do what the fuck I want. Oh my god, this top is so hard to put on. I'm genuinely struggling right now. Oh my god. Okay, that wasn't as hard as it was the first time I put it on. Probably because I fucking broke it by now. But yeah, so it's just me and Frank, and we're both just sitting at the pool now alone. And so this is when Frank like tries his like major moves, right? And so me and Frank are just talking and talking, and he's complimenting me the way that men do. Well, I feel so full of myself in these broadcasts, the way that men do, because I'm just so fucking hot. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. I'm just telling you what happens. I'm just telling you what happens. It just so happens it happens to me, okay? This is actually a swim top. So funny story, because I'm not going to be able to tell you guys everything. So remember I told you how ugly my swim sort of thing was? So I went back out to Walmart and I got this top, this little swim top situation. And my plan was, so let's just be real. There was a really hot guy who was one of the speakers. There's this really hot guy who was one of the speakers at the Poly convention. And me and this other girl, we really wanted to go into the jacuzzi with him at the end of the fucking event. And so I went out and I got this swim top thinking like, women look so hot for like this guy. And then of course when we went to go get in the pool, we went to go get in the hot tub had closed down. Because of course they had like done this thing where because the convention was happening, they basically kept the hot tub open for much longer than it was supposed to. But like when the convention was all over, they closed that shit down, and so that whole hot tub thing did not fucking happen. Did not fucking happen. Oh my god, have I been here? I've been here for So me and Frank are having a conversation, and Frank is trying to pull his moves or whatever. And we start talking, and he's telling me about his sexual prowess and all this stuff. And you know, he's doing this weird thing where he starts talking about energy and how he loves my energy and this and this and that. And this is when I decided to ask him about something that I said earlier. So like when I talked to him, I forget why we said this, but I think it was because I was talking about how straight I was and how I was the only straight person probably in the pool at the time. He perked up and was like, well, no, I'm straight. Oh, no, he's not. He said, oh, no, I'm not straight. That's what he said. And so I was like, oh, okay, you're not straight. Interesting. And so when we had this time alone, I thought that this would be like a good time to sort of ask him about like what he meant, you know? Because look, if I was gonna suck some dick that night, which I wasn't, which I absolutely fucking wasn't, you know, I wanted to have a conversation. And so, because for context, this is just for context. At this particular phase of life that I'm currently in, I'm really not into men who feel the need to very strongly defend their heterosexuality. That doesn't mean that I don't like men who identify as straight. It means mostly that I'm really tired of dealing with men who just need to just be straighter McStraighterson on Straighterson Road all day long. I would much rather be with someone who is a little bit more comfortable with sexuality. And so I was like, let's talk about it. And so we tried to talk about it, and I couldn't tell if maybe he wasn't telling me what he wanted to tell me, because I guess a lot of men who are bisexual who speak to women, they kind of deal with a lot of like stigma, you know? And so maybe that was what was going on. I don't really fucking know. Actually, I'm going to wear this. I'm not going to wear this tomorrow because I'm going on a date tomorrow. And I have to give him like not hoe vibes, because the first date is the date where I pretend that I'm not a hoe. That's for the first date, right? The second date, maybe you get a tank top. The third date, maybe you get a little boobie. You know, second date, that's when I start incorporating lingerie into my outfit. These are the rules. I didn't make them. It's just how things are. And so I started trying to talk to him about it. And so he was really walking it back. And he was kind of like, yeah, no, I'm straight, this and that. And I don't like people, with I only like people with vaginas and this and that. And I was like, okay, all right, okay. But then we did this thing where like he felt because he didn't know that I was trans. I never had a conversation with him because I wasn't gonna fuck him. All right. Bitch, I just love, girl. Just how. And so I was just like, all right, that's all I need to really know. That's all I really need to know. And so, wait, I'm new. So what do you do? What don't I do? So anyway, so it was just kind of like, all right, interesting. But we had a moment where like we extended our arms and we felt each other's arms. And he just like talked about how he could feel like he basically talked about how he could feel that energy with me, and he can't feel that with someone who isn't basically a cis woman, not knowing that I'm a trans woman. Like just totally doing this weird thing where he was like, I can really feel. It was that weird thing when you talk to a black like a black conscious guy who's like, yo yoni, I feel yo yoni, that sort of thing. Like it was very much that, where it's like, oh, that feminine power, I feel it. It's just like, all right, man, like, all right, well, I'm trans, so I don't know what to fucking tell you. It was sort of that thing, It was that sort of thing. And I was like, okay. And we ended our night there. He was very pushy. He kept kind of trying to tell me, he kept trying to tell me that like, you should come to our room, you should come to our room, you should come to our room. I was like, you know what, I'm really good. And so I just went to bed and I ended our night. And that was my first night at the poly convention. That was the first night at the poly convention. So I'm glad that I did that little talk with y'all. Where the fuck is my lace coat? Let me just be right back. This is the look. I'm just giving you, witchy thick hoe goth tease. It's like my daily look. But But anyway, so like that's how the night ended. It was really weird. I didn't see Peggy and Frank for like the first day of the convention. They were so fucked up. They were so fucked up that like I didn't see them. But you know what though? When I did see them, they're like, oh yeah, we're going on a bike ride. Like, hi, they're actually staying on the same floor as I was at the hotel. So that was like interesting. And like I could tell the way that they interacted with me that they were probably a little embarrassed by like how they acted and like what went down. I think they were pretty fucking embarrassed. Because honestly, like, let me fix my titties. It's like y'all don't fucking see my titties. They were pretty fucking embarrassed, you know? And so but look, I didn't make them do shit. I think they did drugs and they were just, I think they probably did Molly. Anyway, this is the first portion of this story because I have so much more to tell you guys. My poly convention ended with me cuddling with two guys in a cuddle fort. So I was just living my best life. I was just living my best life. And how dare you try to tell me I shouldn't? How dare you try to tell me that I shouldn't? I really need to redo my fucking hair. All right. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Matane. Bye-bye.